Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, where we dive into solving challenging coding problems today. We're going to tackle a hard problem on LeetCode, called process string with special operations too. This problem requires us to process a string with special operations and return the character at a specific index after applying these operations. It might sound complex, but don't worry. We'll break it down step by step. So, let's first understand what the problem is asking for. We're given a string and a special index, and we need to apply certain operations on the string and then return the character at that index. The operations include removing the last character, duplicating the current string, reversing the current string, and appending a new character. These operations are represented by special characters in the string. The key insight to solving this problem is to understand and follow the given rules that process the string with special operations. It's like following a recipe to make your favorite dish. You start with an empty plate, and then you add or remove ingredients according to the instructions. In this case, we start with an empty string, and then we process each character of the input string from left to right according to the specified operations. Think of it like a text editor, where you can insert, delete, or modify text based on certain commands. Now, let's walk through the solution step by step. We start by initializing an empty string, which will store the result of the operations. Then, we iterate over each character in the input string. For each character, we check what operation it represents and apply it to the result string. If the character is a special operation, we perform the corresponding action on the result string. If it's a regular character, we simply append it to the result string. Let's take a look at the C++ code that implements this solution. We have a function called process_str that takes a string and an index as input. We start by initializing an empty string called result. Then, we iterate over each character in the input string using a for loop. For each character, we check what operation it represents using if-else statements. If the character is asterisk, we remove the last character from the result string if it's not empty. If the character is hash, we duplicate the current result string and append it to itself. If the character is %, we reverse the current result string. If the character is a regular letter, we simply append it to the result string. Finally, we check if the index is within the bounds of the result string. And if it is, we return the character at that index. If the index is out of bounds, we return a dot. Now, let's talk about the time and space complexity of this solution. The time complexity is n*m, where n is the length of the input string and m is the maximum length of the result string after processing. This is because we're iterating over each character in the input string and performing operations on the result string that can take up to m time. The space complexity is m, where m is the maximum length of the result string after processing, because we're storing the result string in memory. And that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this explanation of the process string with special operations 2 problem. If you have any questions or if you'd like to share your own approach, please comment below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and comment your approach below.